Please don't forget subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to get notified of new daily videos.
I'm Elise, and for years I believed I had it all. My husband, Will, and I had built the Daily Crumb from a dream into a bustling reality, a beloved artisan bakery at the heart of our community. We had two amazing children, Cara, then 16, and Ben, 11, and a life that felt fulfilling if a little hectic. The stress of expanding the business, negotiating with new suppliers, and managing our growing team meant long hours, but I thought we were a unit, tackling it all together. Then I started noticing things. Will, always so open, became guarded with his work tablet, claiming he was finalizing orders or sorting inventory. I didn't think much of it until one evening, I picked up the shared tablet, the one we used for all our bakery operations, to check a supplier's contact details. His work messaging app was open, and a conversation with a Jocelyn caught my eye. She was a junior colleague he'd met at a trade show, whom he'd later introduced as a distant cousin. The messages started innocently, about business, then lighthearted banter. But my gut screamed. I scrolled up, found gaps in the conversation, messages he'd clearly deleted. My heart sank. I became a silent observer, my mind racing. One morning, Will left his tablet at home, still logged into the messaging app. That's when the full horror unfolded. I watched in real time as he described me to Jocelyn, ridiculing my management style, my anxieties about the kids, even intimate details of our life. There were overtly sexual jokes, thinly veiled invitations, and Jocelyn, egging him on, calling him my sweet baker. It wasn't just a betrayal of my trust. It was an active dismantling of my self-worth, a malicious disregard for everything we had built. I snapped screenshots until my fingers ached, even as he was deleting messages on his end, desperately trying to hide the depth of his depravity. The next few weeks were a blur of cold rage. I consulted a lawyer, Sarah, a sharp, no-nonsense woman who listened with a grim nod. I learned that Jocelyn was flying into town for a family reunion that Will had already planned as a secret romantic weekend at the Gilded Spoon, a swanky boutique hotel downtown. He told me he was going on a fishing trip with old college buddies. I played along, even helped him pack his fishing gear, my stomach churning with bile. Sarah drafted a rock-solid separation agreement. Will would move out immediately, get limited weekend visitation, no interim spousal support, and a freeze on the division of our business assets until the divorce was finalized. D-Day arrived. I'd already rerouted my salary to a new private account. Before he left, I transferred half of all joint personal savings to him and moved the vast majority of the Daily Crumb's operating capital to a new business account, solely in my name, leaving just enough in the old accounts to cover immediate expenses. I printed out over 100 pages of screenshots, our entire history laid bare. Will texted me from the road. "Love you, babe. Wish you were coming." I replied, "Have fun, honey. Catch a big one." Around 8:30 p.m., I pulled up to the Gilded Spoon. From the lobby, I called his room. It rang twice before a woman's voice answered, "Hello." My blood ran cold, then hot. "Is Will there?" I asked, my voice surprisingly steady. A muffled, "Who is this?" Then Will's panicked voice, "Elise, what are you doing?" I cut him off. "Get down here, Will, now, unless you want me to send a copy of your little love notes to Jocelyn's husband, your mother, and every major client we have." There was a moment of silence, then a string of panicked curses. Less than 2 minutes later, he stumbled out of the elevator, hair disheveled, eyes wide with terror. Jocelyn, looking equally distraught, was just visible in the elevator behind him. I led him to a quiet corner of the lobby, away from the late-night check-ins. He started stammering, "Elise, it's not what it looks like, I can explain." I cut him off with a calm, chilling smile. "There's nothing to explain, Will. It's all right here." I dropped the heavy stack of screenshots onto the small coffee table between us. "This is a separation agreement. You sign it, or these documents, every sordid detail, go to your parents, your church, our biggest clients, and every single news outlet that has ever praised the Daily Crumb and its devoted owners. You'll lose everything." He stared at the papers, then at the thick stack of printed Betrayal. His face crumpled. The pride he held in his family name, the sterling reputation of our bakery, I knew these were his weak points. I handed him a cashier's check. "This is your share of the remaining liquid funds. It should be enough to get you started somewhere new." He began to sob, muttering, "Please, Elise, don't do this." I leaned in, my voice a whisper. "This is what you chose, Will. Now go have fun with Jocelyn. Don't come back to our home until your things are gone, and this signed agreement is left on the kitchen counter." I stood, turned, and walked out, leaving him there, a broken man weeping in the lobby of a luxury hotel. The fallout was swift and absolute. Movers arrived Monday morning. He signed the agreement, leaving it on the counter as instructed. I allowed him a tearful, vague conversation with Kara and Ben, explaining that Mommy and Daddy need some time apart. He tried to call to text, but I ignored him. After a week, he begged to talk properly, and I obliged, playing the hurt, confused wife. I agreed to counseling, a strategic move to solidify my position as the stable parent and highlight his absence. For months, he came over to see the kids, cooking and cleaning, believing he was earning his way back into my good graces. I kept him at arm's length, maintaining the illusion of hope. After 6 months, I subtly left printouts about infidelity and divorce support articles on our shared family computer, along with some incriminating search history. Kara, my perceptive daughter, found them. I played the devastated but forgiving victim, telling her, "Your dad made a mistake, sweetheart, but he still loves you." It worked. She and later Ben became fiercely protective of me, resentful of Will. When it came time for court statements, both kids expressed an unwavering desire to stay with me in the home they grew up in. The divorce was finalized exactly as I planned. I got the house and primary custody of Kara and Ben. I bought Will out of his share of the Daily Crumb, but the business was valued lower due to the circumstances of our separation and his inability to maintain any involvement. Crucially, I was awarded generous child and spousal support due to the disparity in our incomes, a disparity that grew as I flourished at the bakery, and he struggled to find steady work with his tarnished reputation. Today, the Daily Crumb is more successful than ever. I've expanded, hired new staff, and am a well-respected figure in the community. Will, however, scrapes by. He visits the kids on weekends, often bringing them things he can barely afford, and still tries to help out at the bakery, often for free, under the pretense of supporting the family business. He still believes in his desperate heart that someday we might reconcile. I let him believe it. It's a powerful motivator, ensuring he remains compliant and financially contributing to the life he lost. In my children's eyes, I am the strong, resilient parent who weathered a storm and kept our family together. In Will's eyes, I am the love he let slip away, the woman he will forever regret betraying. The thought of him holding on to that manufactured hope, while I live my life fully, completely free and thriving, brings a deep, quiet satisfaction that no fishing trip could ever provide. He chose to destroy our home and business with his choices, and I ensured he paid the exact price for his betrayal. There will never be a someday for him, just the bitter taste of what he threw away.
If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button to like it. And please do subscribe to support the channel.